Y'all, just like you, I am super busy making all of my little treats. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate it. As I said in the opener, I am truly busy trying to get all of my little things finished in time for Christmas gift giving. 95% of the gifts that I give will be handcrafted. And I know that a lot of you are like me and you are making your gifts as well. And you're probably extremely busy right now. So to help give you some really easy ideas, the video today is going to have 6 different projects in it. And the projects that I'm sharing, scrap projects, stocking stuffers, holders, all types of things that you can use to make gift giving simple and to give you some nice little stocking stuffer ideas or little mini gift ideas. So what I've done is I've pieced together a video of various projects that I've made along the way. So from one video to the next, you'll see me in a different outfit. You might even see my background will be different, but the magic and the simplicity of the projects will remain the same. So hopefully you can find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 ideas in this video that will be helpful to you. All right, y'all, so if you're looking for some really fun, inexpensive gifts that you can give to someone, today's project is going to be for you because we're going to take this one file folder and we're going to make 2 of these beautiful 6 3/4 by 2 3/4 by 1 inch little purses. I'm going to open this so that you can see why I'm calling this a sweet little box. So many of you request this at this time of the year. I think I've only made this project twice, but what we have is a nice little paper purse that's going to hold those Hershey's chocolate bars. I don't know about you, but I've always loved just the plain milk chocolate bar from Hershey's, and I would not have a problem at all receiving this and opening the box, and inside are a couple of Hershey's bars. You can even put 3 bars in this box. You don't even have to put the chocolates in this purse. You can put other things in this purse as well. Super easy to make. I'm going to show you how to make this right now. So remember, we only need 1 file folder, and what we're going to do with that file folder is we're going to trim it with it folded. We're going to trim it on the open end. Let's go ahead and trim at 8 3/4. And we're going to remove these pieces. I'm not saving them. Then I'm going to open the file folder and I am going to move this point to 8 3/4 and I'll cut. Now I have 2 even pieces of 8 3/4 by 11 3/4. So this is how you're able to get 2 purses from 1 file folder. I'm going to turn this to the 11 3/4 inch side. Let me grab my stylus because we are going to score on the 11 3/4 inch side at 1 1/2, at 4 1/4, at 5 1/4, at 8, at 9, and at 11. So on the 11 3/4 inch side, we scored at 1 1/4, 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 8, 9, and 11. Then I'm going to rotate it to the 8 3/4 inch side, and I'm going to score at 1. Rotate it to the opposite 8 3/4 inch side, and let's score at 1 again. So now I am going to fold and burnish all of my scores. All right, so when you have it facing you like this and you fold up here, you're going to have a narrow flap. You fold here, you're going to have a wider flap. This is actually the front of your box. So I'm going to take my finger blade and go to the score mark, the first score mark, and just angle in a little bit. and then I'll cut straight across to remove that piece. We'll do the same thing here. I'll angle in and cut straight across to remove this piece. Then I'll take my tape and we'll fold this piece over, and then I'll get it nice and stuck. So now we have our piece. It looks like this. With this folded, we're going to move to this next series of scores. It'll be 2 scores that we need to remove to get this look. So here's that fold over flap that we just did. You have a score here and a score here. Let's go ahead and go up to the score mark, the intersection, and drag straight down. Drag straight down. Let's angle. Let's angle. And then I'm just going to reduce that a little bit. So that's how it looks so far. Now we need to move to this side and do the same thing. So I'll turn it towards me. Go up to the score mark and drag straight down. Drag straight down. And now I'm just going to reduce. So now your piece looks like this. We are going to turn it this way. So that flap we folded over is now here, and this is facing you. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to get rid of these 2 pieces right here. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'll go to the score mark that's right there. It's the second one. And I am simply going to angle in a little bit as I cut down. And then I will cut straight across to remove that. Do the same thing over here. I'll go to that second score mark, angle in as I cut down, and then I'll cut straight across. So we've removed these 2 corner pieces. Now we have to make another cut to free another tab, but the reason why I removed the corner pieces first was to make it easier for us to know where we now need to remove that tab. So we have a tab here and a tab here. We're going to go to the score mark and cut straight down to free that tab. Cut straight down to free that tab. Let's angle in. Let's angle in. And then I'll angle on this side as well, and on this side, and I can also reduce these. So now your piece is going to look like this. Y'all, we are ready to put this together. So I am going to take my tape again. I'll place my tape on this piece. You can use your glue on this if you want, and you can use your tear tape, and I will be using my tear tape in just a minute. So now our piece looks like this. We have this narrow flap folded over. We have these flaps folded over. And the reason why I folded them over is because I just like the clean edge that I get. So we're going to put this together. And the way that we're going to do it is we're going to take the piece that has the front flap on it and attach it to this piece. And then we'll attach this piece. So I am going to use my tape. Place my tape on these little flaps here. Then I'm going to take this piece and just fold it backwards because I want to place some tape right along the edge. I'll slide over here, fold this piece backwards, and place some tape along this edge. And then on the flaps here at the bottom, I am going to add some tape right there. Fold that in and add some tape right there. So what we did on the flap that has the widest part, fold those over and add tape. Then add some tape by folding these over, the little tabs, And then on these pieces, just fold these backwards and out of the way for the moment and add some tape here. So now we're ready to put this together. I'm going to peel away that middle tape piece, and we're just going to make sure that we are matching bottom to bottom. Do the same thing over here. Let's go ahead and peel away that tape. We'll take this piece and we'll match it bottom to bottom. And now we can peel away these pieces. We'll take this piece, and this time we're going to match top to top. We want to make sure that this score mark is even with this line going across. And if after you do that you have some overhang at the bottom, just take your scissors, go along the bottom, and clean that up. So now we're just going to do this side. Matching our tops like that. And y'all, there is our sweet little paper purse body. I am going to go ahead and just take my Velcro dot, and I'm going to place that Velcro dot, right about there. My Velcro dots come from the Dollar Tree. They work very well. So I'm going to take this, fold it over, get it nice and even on both sides here and here. Then I will stick it. Open this, go in with my bone folder, get that nice and stuck. And there is our 6 3/4 by 2 3/4 by 1 inch paper purse. I do want to add a handle, and it's going to be a very simple handle. So I have some red scrap that was left over from another project. I am going to cut a strip at 1 1/2. Then I'm going to cut my little border strip. I think I'm going to go with 1/2 inch. We'll take the piece that measures 1 1/2, and we're going to go ahead and score it at 3/4 inch. And then we can fold it. Normally I put this together with glue, but we are going to use tape because that will work as well on this. And quite honestly, I'm going to trim this down just a little bit so I didn't have to use as much tape as I'm using, but y'all know what, it's okay. So now we'll just peel this away. Fold over. And like I said, I'm going to reduce this, so I should have reduced it before I actually taped it, but I'm reducing it to about 9 inches. I cut off about 3 inches. So now I'm going to take my bone folder and just give this a nice little curl. Like that. Then I'll just take the end. I'm folding over about 1/2 inch. I'll fold over at this end about 1/2 inch, and this is how it will look. I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just doing a little angle to the end. This is all decorative, not anything you have to do. So now we just bring in our purse, and you just decide where you want your handle and how you want your handle to look. I am going to be attaching my handle using glue, my Reptile adhesive. And guys, if you have not placed your orders, go ahead and get those orders in for your winter crafting months, because Reptile will not ship when we have the threat of freezing weather, which we seem to have a lot of during the winter time. So just make sure, if you want to craft along with me or your other favorite crafters, get your glue order in. So I'm just placing this where I want mine, and I like that look. So I am just going to hold this in place for a moment. Then I'll use my bone folder to just go in and really make sure that that is stuck. Then I'm going to take this piece and we're going to put it along the bottom like that. So let's add some 1/2-inch tape. Really didn't have to go all the way across there either, but I did. So I am just going to trim that. We're going to peel away that tape backer. Now I'll take this, open it, and just place it down. Then I'll use my scissors to trim away the excess overhang on the ends. And now, as you can see, we have a beautiful little paper purse. I am just going to add one decorative touch to this, and I'm going to call mine finished. So I'm going to go with this one that says, "We wish you a Merry Christmas." So I'm going to take my glue, add some glue, and I'm going to smush it in with my fingers. Open this. Now I can take my piece and put it on like that, making sure that I get it nice and stuck. And so now we can fold over and we have another beautiful box. Y'all, I think that this is just so festive, and I think that it is so stinking cute. So I'm going to bring this one back in because I want you guys to see just how gorgeous these are. This little bag, when finished, is 4 by 4 by 1, and it is so stinking cute and so easy to make. From one sheet of 12 by 12, you'll be able to make 2. Now I'm calling this my Hugs and Kisses purse because when I open it, on the inside, I just have some of the Hershey's Hug Nuggets and some Hershey's Kisses. And I think it's a really sweet way to give a little something. So here's what we're going to need to make it. I have my piece of 12 by 12. I'm going to take that 12 by 12 and cut off a 1-inch strip. So I now have a piece that is 11 by 12. So on the 11-inch side, we're going to score at 4, at 5, at 9, and at 9.5. Then we're going to take it and turn it to the 12-inch side and cut it off at the 6-inch mark. So that way you're going to end up with 2 pieces of 6 by 11. And that means you'll be able to make 2 bags. We're only going to make 1 in this video, but you will be able to make 2. So on the 6-inch side, score at 1, rotate it to the opposite 6, and score at 1. Now we're going to take this piece, and on the 12-inch side, just get 2 pieces that are 6 by 1. Then we're going to take those 2 pieces and we score at 1/2 inch. And y'all, that is all that we'll be doing in the way of scoring. So now we're going to take this, and with my big old spatula, I am going to fold and burnish all of my scores. And now that I have my scores folded and burnished, here we are going to free this tab. So we just go up to the score mark and drag down, go up to the score mark and drag down, then I'll angle in and angle in. Let's do the same thing on this side. Go up to that score mark, drag down, angle, and angle. And then we're going to take this piece, and where you have that small fold at the top, we'll go to the score mark and cut straight across, and then we'll angle. Do the same thing here, cut straight across and angle. So now I'm going to tape just to get this out of my way. So take your tape, and I'm not going to remove that. I'm just going to fold it in like this. And then I'm going to take my finger blade, and I'm just going to reduce this end here because I don't need all of that bulk when I'm folding my purse. And I'm basically just cutting it in half. Very, very easy to do. So now we are ready to put this together. So simple, y'all. So I'm going to take my glue and place glue here. I'm also going to go ahead and just place some glue there. And then we'll take this piece and fold it up like this. Yes, I am going to get glue all over my fingers, but that'll be okay. So we're just going to fold the bottom to make it match like that. Then we'll take this piece, bring it over, and get it stuck. Now I'm going to take my bone folder, go on the inside, and work that stick. And this is such a lightweight item that you can probably get away with using your tape if you have a good tape runner. If you're using one that doesn't have great stick to it, I probably wouldn't use it on this project. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue here. And we will get this nice and stuck. Did y'all see how quickly this came together? That means that you can make up bunches of these when you need something quick. And you can use this idea even if you're not using it for Christmas. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my handle and fold it and burnish. Add my glue so that this can stick. Let's turn it over. Get that nice and stuck. And then I'll just use my bone folder to get it nice and stuck so that it can dry. And because we trimmed one of these down to 1/2 inch, that makes it easy for us to take this and pinch in and fold. You can fold it even if you don't reduce it by 1/2 inch. This just makes it easier. So there's that purse shape. There is our nice little purse. I am going to grab a Velcro dot, and we are going to place that Velcro dot right there. And then we'll fold over, get it nice and stuck. Then I'm going to use my bone folder to really make sure the stick on that Velcro dot is nice and tight. There's our purse. So now we're going to take, so let's take that handle and fold in about 1/2 inch, like that, and like this. Now I'm going to add some glue, and I probably should have heated my hot glue gun because I think that would have made this part go a lot quicker, but that's okay. So then I'm going to take it, place it on the top, loop this over like this, and hold it until we have a nice little stick. Because my paper has a little bit of a waxy coating, I do have to hold it a little longer than I would if it was just regular uncoated cardstock. but in the end, it's all good. And now I have this Happy Christmas piece of embellishment. It's not a sticker, so I added some tape to the back, and I can place it right there to really finish things off. And y'all, look how cute that is. Now I'm going to open it. Go ahead and grab some kisses. Put those in. I'll grab some of these and put these in. We'll take our top, close it. And y'all, there we have it. Another really sweet mini purse to go along with this one. I'm going to show you how to take one piece of 12 by 12 and make two of these 3 by 6 by 1/2 inch little gift card holders. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and we're going to go ahead and trim this paper to 12 by 12, meaning I'm just going to take off the information bar. The paper that I'm using is from My Mind's Eye. It was published in 2021. Unfortunately, My Mind's Eye is no longer producing scrapbook type items. They've gotten more into the home decor and party planning or event planning when it comes to the items that they offer. But if you do a merry and bright search for My Mind's Eye, you might be able to find this paper. So here's what we need to do. We're going to take it and cut 2 strips at 6 by 12. Then we're going to reduce those to 9 by 6. So then from the 3 by 6 inch pieces that we have left, let's go ahead and cut 2 strips at 2 by 6. And we will need 4 of these. And when all is said and done, this is all that we're going to have left as scrap. So we're going to take both of these. We score at 3, 3.5, 6.5, and 7. Let's go ahead and take the other one. We score at 3, 3.5, 6.5, and 7. Then we're going to go ahead and take those 2 by 3 inch strips, and on the 2 inch side, let's score every 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1, and 1.5. On the 2 inch side, every 1/2 inch. And our last one, so 1/2 inch, 1, and 1.5. So now we can put our scoreboard away. We're going to take these and we're just going to accordion fold like this. And your pieces will look like an M. So now I'm going to take my 1/2 inch tape, and I am going to put tape on the end pieces on both ends. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3 just like this, and I'll be right back. All right, so all of these are taped. Now we're going to bring these back in, and let's just go ahead and fold and burnish on our scores. All right, so once everything is folded and burnished, you are going to have a shell that looks like this. So we're just going to open this, take one of our 2 by 3 pieces, and when you put it down, we're going to place it right here in the middle on the end, like that. And then we do the same thing on this side. Simply remove your tape backer. I have found that it's easier. I have found that it's just easier for me to do it this way. You can actually use glue on this if you want. I am just using tape. So let's go ahead and do this one as well. And y'all, when I'm doing any type of mass production, this is truly how I work. I take it in steps so that hopefully I won't forget a step. Doesn't always work because, like all of us, crafty mistakes happen and you just have to adapt and roll with the punches. Just don't let it stress you because this is supposed to be fun. So I'm placing it as close to that score mark as I can. So there we have that. Now I'll peel away the tape backer here and I'll take this piece and fold it over like that. That's what you want. And then we'll do the same thing over here. I'll just tuck this in. And fold that over. And there is box number 1. Let's do it again with this one. Now let's do this one. Peel away that tape backer. Take that widest end and just fold it over. Do the same thing over here. Just tuck that in like that, and then just take your paper and line up the ends. And now you have 2 really easy wallets. I am just going to squeeze those to make sure that my tape is nice and stuck. And so now I'm just going to take my scissors and I am going to just cut out my little ends here. You can round if you want, or you can leave them straight. I just decided I wanted a little angle. And you can get as elaborate with decorating yours as you want. This is good enough for me. So I am going to grab 2 Velcro dots. You can use magnets, but I am using Velcro. I'm going to take this 1 Velcro dot and place it there. Take this Velcro dot and place it right there. Now peel away that backer. And we can fold over. Get that nice and stuck. Now I can open this, go inside with my bone folder to make sure that's stuck, and make sure that's stuck. And then we just do this one. Peel off that backer. And these Velcro dots are from the Dollar Tree, y'all, and they work very well. So get that nice and stuck. And now I'm going to use my 2 pieces of scrap because I want to cover the bottom of this so that the stickiness of the back won't interfere with closing this. This is my decorative piece and it is a sticker, but I want to make sure that it's not in the way. So all I did was used my scrap to cover the back. And then I'm just going to take this one and do the same thing. So I'm just going to place it down, right about there. Trim away the excess. And this is all the scrap that I ended up with. So now I can take this and I'm just going to place it right there. And then we'll take this one that says Santa Stop Here, and I'm going to place it right there. Y'all, this is a super easy way of making a money wallet or a gift card holder when you need one in a hurry. It is easy, and look at how cute it is. So the last thing that I'm going to do to mine is I am just going to use a few of these little Dollar Tree gems. I like to trim away some of that excess adhesive that connects them all. And then I'm just going to, and we'll place one right there. And then we'll place one right there. See if that's straight. That's good enough. Place one right there. And then our last one, we'll place it. And so y'all, there we have it. We have two beautiful little money wallets or gift card holders, or you can put candy bars in here. I think they might fit. You can put other things in here as well, but this is a cute, very easy way to make these, especially when you need something in a hurry. And a lot of people that I know love getting gift cards and cash. So this makes it easy for me because we can make something like this in a matter of minutes. It's crunch time. But in case you don't want to carry around a whole bottle of honey, why not carry some of those honey sticks? And what a great way to present them. So this is going to be a very simple craft. I'm going to open this little holder so that you can see we have honey sticks on the inside in this box. But I think that you can probably safely get 10 sticks in the box. But y'all, this is going to be one of those very quick 5-minute crafts. You can make bunches of these and have them at the ready. So here's what you're going to need to make it. Very simple. You only need one piece of 8 1/8 by 4.5 inch decorative cardstock. I'm using a double-sided. You can actually use a solid cardstock if you want and just embellish it. But when I say this is going to be a very quick craft, I absolutely mean it. 8 1/8 by 4.5 is all that you need. 4.5 inch side, we are going to score at 1/2 inch, at 2, at 2.5, and at 4. Then on the 8 1/8 inch side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, at 1, and at 7 3/4. So then we're simply going to fold and burnish all of our scores. So then once you have all of your scores folded and burnished, we're going to have one corner piece at the bottom that we need to get rid of. Then we'll go all the way up to the top and we'll have these two corner pieces that we also need to get rid of. And now we'll go across the bottom, and everywhere that we have a score mark, we're just going to notch out a tab. And your project piece will look like this. Then I'm just going to rotate it to this side. We'll go up to the second score mark and drag straight down wherever we have a score mark. So go up to the second score mark and drag straight down. And basically what you've done is you have freed those two tabs like that. Then we're going to just reduce these in size. And we will angle them just a little bit. And now that we have our piece like this is our glue flap. So we're going to move over to this panel and we're going to take this piece and fold it in. So I am just going to angle that a little bit because I do want it to go in without hitting the score marks. So again, there's your adhesive flap. Go all the way over to this section here, take this panel, and we're going to fold it in. So we'll go ahead and just add some glue. You can cut it off if you want. I just like that finished look that it gives to my boxes. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to round the remaining large tab. And y'all, we are now ready to put this together, so it's very easy. We take our glue flap and we glue it to the inside of this piece. So I am just going to go ahead, take my glue, and then I'll glue it to the inside. And to help you know that you've got it positioned properly, just tuck that in and then just tuck that bottom flap in. That way you'll know that you have it nice and straight. Then you can just take this and flat fold it. Let's get it nice and stuck. Now we can open this and pull the tabs back out. We're going to go to the bottom, fold those little tabs in, add some glue, fold over this tab from the back, add some glue here, and then we're going to fold this over to get our box. And you just let that dry, and then we can just fold back the top, and then we can take some of our honey sticks. I am just going to take 5, put those in, and close it. I will have a link for these honey sticks in the description box if you're interested in getting some. So very easy at this point. I have a little piece of embellishment and I have this little tag. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to the back of that tag, which is really just a scrap piece of decorative paper. I just cut out the word Mary. And then I'm going to place that on like that. These are great as stocking stuffers. So y'all, here's a closer look at the awesome little cubes we're going to be making. They are approximately 2 by 2 by 2 1/4 to 2 1/2, depending on the size paper that you're using. But we're also going to use scraps to create our own little bows. Hopefully you're able to see that. Super simple process, but this is a great way to use scraps. Let's make one, including the bow. So as y'all are able to see, I have plenty of scraps here from which I can choose, but I'm going to stick with this one because I want to show you how I'm also not going to cut off the information band here. So this is a 12 by 4 1/2 inch piece, and I am going to cut it down to 8 1/2. Then I'm going to take this piece and cut a strip at 1, this piece and cut a strip at 1. So I have 2 strips at 1 and 1 strip that is 8 1/2 by 4 1/2, and those are the measurements for the box sizes I'll be making here. So with my paper in on the 8 1/2 inch side, we're going to score every 2 inches. So that's 2, 4, 6, and 8. Then with it in on the 4 1/2 inch side, I'm going to score at 1 1/8. Then I'm going to rotate it to the opposite 4 1/2 inch side, and let's go ahead and score at 1 1/4. So now we're just going to fold and burnish all of our scores. And this is going to be one of those boxes where we don't need a lid because it's going to be a one and done. So we're going to close this box permanently using glue. So now I'm just going to take my finger blade, and this narrow flap here is the adhesive flap. So we need to remove the bottom rectangle and the top rectangle. So I'm removing both of these by cutting in at a slight angle. Then we're just going to go across the bottom and the top. Everywhere that we have a score, we're going to notch out an angle on both sides of that score mark. This is something that you guys see me do a lot, if you've been crafting with me for any amount of time. Then here on the end, I am just going to angle in a little bit there. So right now my piece looks like this. I'll turn it to this end, and again, anywhere that I have a score mark, I'm going to notch out an angle. And so now I'm ready to bring in my glue, and we can put it together. So we're going to place our glue on the adhesive flap, which is right there. Then all you have to do is fold over, match those score marks, and now you have a nice little flat fold. And you can make up bunches of these and just be ready when you need a little something. Open it, seal it, give it as a gift. So now we're just going to put it together. This is the bottom of the box, and you can see that I didn't even remove the title bar because that's going to be covered. This is the back of the box because I can see that the adhesive flap is there. So I'm going to fold in these two sides, then I'll fold over the back flap. We're going to stick it down with some glue, and then I'll fold over the front flap. And then I'm just going to square this. Go in, make sure I have that nice and stuck. So there's my box. Let's just open it like this. I'm going to take some of my little chocolates, and we're going to put them in the box. And I'm able to get 3 chocolates in this box, so I'm just going to fold over the top. This time I am going to add just a little bit of glue right there. Let's fold that piece over. Let's add some glue right here. Fold that over. Add glue right here and fold that over. And y'all, I know that this is a very simple craft, but this gives us yet another option for being able to use our scraps. Sometimes even I stop crafting new projects so that I can use some of my scraps, and that's what this series is about. We're going to make our bow, and all I'm going to do is take one piece and just curl it with my finger blade. Then I'll take those 2 pieces and I'm just going to fold them in like this. So I'm going to add some glue on this end and on this end, and we're just going to fold these in the center. And then I'll hold it down for just a second to give that glue a chance to set up. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to notch out a V right there and a V right here. And I think I'm just going to do it with my finger blade. So I'm just going to notch out those V's. This is just helping me to get that nice little bow shape. And we'll do the same thing over here. Notch out that V. So there's my bow. Now I'm going to take some glue, place some glue on the back of the bow. Then I'm going to take this piece and just place it down like this. So I have about that much of a tail left. And then I'll try to cut off that amount here. So now what I'm going to do is I'll go in here and here and cut out that V. And then I'll also be cutting out a tail. So I'm going to take my scissors, try to go in as tightly as I can with my scissors. If I don't get it too tight, I'll go in with my finger blade and do some cleanup. There's my little bow shape. Then here at the bottom, I'm just going to go in from corner to the center and cut a tail. It won't be a perfect one, but it will be good enough. So I'm just going in and we're cutting a tail. And so there's my bow. I am going to take my stylus and just go through the loop of the bow just to round it. And I'll do the same thing over here. So I'm getting that rounded shape to the loop of my bow. And now it'll go on top just like that. And so then I have these little decorative holiday brads, Christmas brads from Pebbles, and I've had these in my stash for quite a while. So I'm going to use those as the center. So I am going to take my paper piercer, punch me a hole, and then I'll just make that hole big enough so that I can fit that brad through. And then we'll take the brad and just feed it through the hole. Open the brad. And now I'm going to take my glue and just add some glue like that. And then I'll take this and we'll put it on the top. And now we have a gift ready to give. We can take our scraps and we can make our own gift packaging complete with the bow. And then all you have to do is fill it with something little and watch people smile. So on my desk are some little party favors that you can make using scraps. And I have these in various patterns, but they're all basically made from 4 by 6 inch pieces of scrap. We have this little, it's very similar to those sour cream holders that they used to have at Wendy's. If you remember when Wendy's used to have a salad bar and they had the sour cream holders for the baked potatoes, this is very similar to that. So you can see that sweet little shape. And then we have this cute little triangle that's also made from a 4 by 6 inch piece of paper. So you're able to get a couple of sweet treats in here. Or in the case of this one, you can put some little mini bottles of fingernail polish or little trinkets, Secret Santa gifts, stocking stuffers, just perfect for that. Now these little favors here have been around for years. This is not an original idea of mine, but I thought I'd bring them back and show you guys how you can use your scraps to make these perfect for bridal shower favors, perfect for baby shower favors, perfect to have sitting out if you're having an event at your home and you want to send your guest away with a little something. So here's what you're going to need to make it. So we're going to make both styles today, and I have 2 pieces of scrap, and I'm going to cut this scrap down to 6 by 4. So I am going to remove the title bar from this piece, and I'll cut it down to 6. So I now have 2 pieces that are 6 by 4, meaning I can make 2 nice little favors from that. Same here. I'm going to remove this part of the title bar. We're going to measure this and I'm going to trim it at 4. Then we're just going to cut it down to 6. So now I have an opportunity to be able to make 4 favors. We're going to make 2 today. Then I'm going to be using some ribbon on one of them. And then I have some little decorative sentiment pieces to put on the front. So the first one that we're going to make is we're going to make the triangle. So I am going to take my piece, and on the 6-inch side, I'm going to score at 3. Then I'm going to rotate it to the 4-inch side, and I'm just going to make a nice little indentation at 2. And then I'll rotate it to the opposite end and make another indentation at 2. That's just a mark, so I'll know where to place my ruler. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my pen and just make that mark there and that mark there. So then I'm just going to fold it in half like this. Then when we open it, we're going to take our ruler and we're going to place that ruler on that mark, and then you bring the ruler to the fold mark, to the edge of that fold mark, and then you just score. And then you do the same thing over here. So we're going to place that ruler on the fold, and then we match it up with that mark we made at 2, and we score. And you just keep doing this on 4 sides of your paper. So let's match it up with that mark. Then we have the fold mark here. And now I'll score. Same thing here. We have the fold mark, and then we have that mark here. So I'm just going to take it and bring it over like that. And it might not be perfect, but y'all, it'll be close enough. So then once we have our score marks made, we just fold on each one of those like this. And so you're going to have a piece that's like this, and you can just fold one end into the other end. Then all I'm going to do is just punch some holes. I'm not even matching those holes. I'll get pretty close and you'll see what I'm doing. So I have 2 holes here, and then I'm just going to put 2 holes on the other end. So now I have my 4 holes. I'll be able to take this. So using my ribbon, I'm going to feed my ribbon through the outer hole like that. Then I'll fold that piece in and feed the ribbon through that hole. And so when I pull it, it's going to pull it together like this. But before I actually close it, I'm going to go ahead and just place a few Hershey's Kisses on the inside of mine. So now I can take my ribbon. We're going to feed it through the inside piece, and I should have put some heat to my ribbon to keep it from fraying while I'm doing this, but I didn't, and that's okay. So now that we have our ribbon going through like that, we're going to take it and feed it through the top piece. And now we're able to pull this nice and tight. And then you can tie it off into a bow, or you can just tie a knot. I'm going to tie a very simple bow. Like that. And then I'll use my scissors just to trim away some of that excess ribbon. And then I'm going to take my tape runner because I want my ribbon not to stick up like that. And I'm just going to place it on like that. So I'm just running a little bit of tape. Then I can take the tail of the ribbon and we can just put it down like that. So then I'm going to take one of my sentiments, peel away that backer, place it right there. And now we have a sweet little favor. So that is how you make that little triangle favor. Then we're going to make the little sour cream pouch favor, and all I'm going to do is just take my paper and just curl it a little bit because I am going to be turning this into a tube. So now that we have it like this, I'm going to take my tape and I'm just going to run my tape on all four sides. So let's get that tape nice and stuck. And then I'm going to peel my tape away from the two short sides and one of the long sides. So I'll peel it like this. Then all I'm going to do is take this and we're just going to fold it over like this. And you're basically creating something that looks like a toilet paper tube. Then we're just going to take the bottom and pinch in and get that nice and stuck. And on one of the short sides, there really is no need to place that tape. I don't even know what I was thinking. So you really only need to place 3 pieces of tape, 2 on both long ends and 1 on one short side. So now we have this little holder. I am just going to take a few kisses, put those in, and then I'm going to peel away that tape that's on the inside. And this time when I close it, with it facing me like this, I'm going to take it and turn it sideways and just pinch it closed. And now I can take my big old spatula, go in and get that nice and stuck. Then I'm going to take another sentiment piece. We're going to place that right there. You can even put a ribbon on this if you want, but I'm just going to leave it like this. And now we have 2 more little favors that we can make using scrap. We have this one, which is so cute, and we have this one, which is also so cute. So if you wanted to just make up a bunch of these, hand them out at work, put them on your coworker's desk, have them out on the favor table of any event that you might be having, this is a very quick and easy way to make these favors and to use up a whole bunch of scraps. That was a lot of fun, y'all. And I hope you found it to be fun as well. And I hope that you were able to find a few helpful ideas. The projects that you saw take minutes to make, only need a 12 by 12 sheet. And when you don't need a 12 by 12 sheet, guess what? You can get away with using scraps. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, all day, every day, this is what we do and this is how we do it. And I would love to have you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video. As always, my beautiful crunch time crafty friends, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.